Okay, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be creating the main menu system that's going to be controlling the game. I'm going to give a quick example. We have here, we have a nice little just game being played in the background. We have the ability to choose 3 different options: start, options, and exit. Clicking start will just start the game for us. Exit will just close out the application for us. And options currently is not programmed to open up an options menu yet, but will be done probably by the next video. So first we're going to want to come in here. Let's take this main menu or main scene, and we're going to save another copy of it called background main. And what we're going to do, so we're going to change the instance. Where is that? Right here, change type. I'm going to change it to control here. And we're just going to rename it to background main. Make it more obvious for us. And we're going to want to hide the UI. That's the only change we're going to really need to make for now. Also, I guess just for now, we're going to be increasing the AI paddle speed to 400 because we're going to be using this as a demonstration. We probably want to make a separate one, but I kind of also wanted to speed up the paddles anyway, so it's more of a challenge. So let's copy this. I'm going to paste it here. I thought it was going to give us the correct position if I paste it there, but no matter, we can just come in here. You're just gonna have to and reset the rotation to 0. I believe if we play this, we're gonna have the game for now automatically playing without the background. Let's add that now. So we're gonna want to create a new scene, user interface. We're just gonna name this main menu. Save that. We're gonna have a color rect now. We need to add. We're gonna do a full rectangle for this. And we need to come into this UI here. And we're gonna take this color and copy this over here for us. And now what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want, I believe it's a center container. Now we want a center container. First, let's set the size for this. We're gonna set this roughly to be just about half of our screen, and then we're gonna center this in the center of the screen. You can play around with the size if you want it more specific, but for what we're doing, this should be good enough. Next, we're going to want to add a VBox container. And inside that VBox container, we're going to be adding our buttons that we're using. So let's create a button. I'm going to name this first one Start Button. We're going to add our sprite here. And let's see, we're going to call this Start with all capitals. And we're going to load in our asset that we're going to be using. We're going to be using a dark enter key. We're going to want to transform this 200 by 20 and then scale this by half. It's going to look fine after we change the settings for the button. First, let's go in and add a font. Let's load in the Robotica black one, and we're going to set this probably to like 36, I think. Yeah, that looks fine. Next, we're going to come in here. I'm going to add a new style box flat. And now we're just going to copy this for all of them. we're just going to use these default values for now. Later down the line, we can add different changes for hovering, pressed over, focused on it. But for now, we're just going to have it all the same, just to make it easier for us. Now, let's duplicate this. We're going to also want all of these sprites hidden. And we're going to also want to rename these all to options. Actually, it was all capitals for ours. Options and exit. And let's also name these options, exit. We can leave that one a start button. And finally, what we want to add last is background main, which we will also come in here to visibility and lower the alpha value so it's a little bit transparent. And for now, let's just make sure everything looks good. Yeah, it looks fine. We got some buttons. Can click on them, but right now nothing happens because we got to add some scripts for this. So let's come in here, add our main menu script, and in this script we're going to be calling, in the ready function we're going to have a few function calls. Input.connect, and it's called, yeah, that one. We're going to need joy connected changed, self, and then we're going to call on. Let me see if it's going to, actually, let me see if we can just find the option in here. See if I just write, no, it's not popping up. So let's just write the function name. It's going to be called on underscore joy connection change. And I'm going to call that function. Nah, you know what, let's just copy it. Oh, we also don't need these parentheses. And then we're going to also want to get tree. And we're going to get nodes and group main menu and 0, and we're going to grab focus to the first one in that list. So actually I forgot to mention we had to come in here and under each button we're going to add in that they're part of the main menu. That should be all. Let's go make this function so it doesn't give us an error. That looks good. Now, what we're going to add first is inside of a process function, we're going to be checking for the get focus owner. And we're just going to assume that we have the focus owner. And actually it's not get child, it's get children. Whoops, my bad, button on. And we're going to get the child. We know there's only one child in each of these, so we're just going to call for the first child, which is going to be 0. And we're going to get the path for that. And now we're going to tell it, we're going to get that node, and we're just going to tell it sprite.show. So this will make it so whichever button we're on currently focused on, it's going to show the the sprite on what button we can click to proceed further. And in here, there's two variables we're going to have: device ID and connected. I believe these are just default. Did I spell it right? Connected. And we gotta pass. We're gonna just pass two variables here for the first time it's run. 0, 0. But this should be called every time we either disconnect or connect the controller or the device to our computer. And this will tell us the ID of the device. Bar. I'm gonna have a button. We're gonna make some just random variables here. This one's gonna get us the nodes in main menu. And now what we're going to do is we're going to loop through all of the buttons and replace the button sprite i.getChild, and we're going to just call it 0 because we know there's only one child in each of them. And we're going to get the path, and we're going to load in the button that's going to be being used. Get node string, and then put in the replace button. And now we're going to call load button dot texture because we're going to be changing the texture for this. And we're going to load in the resource for this. This is going to be the controller now. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to be using the Xbox Series X. I think it's the same as just the Xbox One, maybe slightly different. But we're going to be taking this one and paste in that URL here. If you just drag and drop into here from your file system, it'll automatically paste it as a resource that can be loaded. And that should be it for if we can have a controller connected. That's this whole point of this if statement. And else, we're going to basically take the same, we're going to just take the same code here, except we're going to go back to keyboard and mouse and get the dark and find, where's the enter key? Enter key. So we're going to find that. I'm going to just paste it on this line for now and get all that text. Oh, why did it do that? Cut that out and paste it over. So that's basically going to tell us if it's there's no controller connected, we're going to use the enter key. Now, the last things we got to add now are the ability to be able to use these buttons. So let's come in here and click on the node here to add an unbutton pressed. We're going to tell it to change scene for us, and we're going to just call on the main scene. And we're also going to want to add in another thing that will make it easier for us is if the mouse, do we need a mouse? No, we need the focus, like I said. Basically, if the focus is changed, let me see, I believe if we, can I just drag this to get the path ID? It's, I think, almost full path ID. You know what? Let's just go in here, and we're gonna look for start button sprite. I'm gonna do hide. I'm gonna copy that 2 more times though. For the start button, the options, and exit. Let's do that again. Focus exited. And last but not least, let's go back for the button pressed for this as well. And we're gonna tell it get tree dot quit if we press that. And last but not least, let's come in here quickly and go in for options dot sprite, and we're gonna hide it. Same for this one. Sprite. Actually, we're gonna not put exit. Look for sprite and then hide. And I believe if we come in here and quickly test this out, let's just make sure that works. Yeah, that seems to be all working. Now, I want to test one more thing. I have an Xbox controller in my hand. If I turn this on and wait, as you see, it just turned on, and now we have the option to use an Xbox controller. So that's it for this video. I'm going to show you guys some more changes to the main menu, but like add in options for changing the buttons for the controller and stuff like that. But we're going to be basically finishing up this options in the next video, and then we're going to go in and change some stuff in the main game, such as maybe add in power-ups, add in an actual end game scene where it tells the player either you win or lose, or do you want to try again and try beating the AI or something else. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.